Hello, and welcome back to more effortless building. So a few things we're going to do in this sort of, and again, I don't know how many episodes we'll do of this thing. We're all going to try and use some different pallets and stuff like that. I've got more. If you watch my old, I've got a video about greenhouse. You can see me going through different pallets that I thought of. I think I was comparing it to the Office. Maybe I was comparing it to the Microsoft Office pallets to try and get them. Um, so one of the most important things to realize, take a look at this, right? If I do this 5x6, right? That's the shape I want. Yeah, take a look at that shape, right? It's hard to... I think you can kind of see the shape, right? What you can definitely do, though, is tell the difference between that shape and that shape, right? And that's because the way you're looking is very important. So, for instance, if I've got a pallet thing here, right? If I just do this, right? You'd be like, oh yeah, that works great. Now I want the 5x6 to go in this direction. And you can already see, but just to make it even clearer here for you, right? It's not the same, right? If I want to get this in this direction, I have to go 6x5, right? Let me just jump over it. So yeah, 6x5 here. And of course, you're not really often aware of which way you're facing. Not the biggest one, but you can basically see it's correct, right? The shape. So, so what we need to think about then is, and why the numbers are as they are. Well, we set up a randomizer. It's basically 3, and then we've got 8, and then 3. All right, so it's 3, and then it scans like this. 8, and then 3 at the top. What else can happen though? For instance, what if we turn this to 4s? And then we'll do the same thing, right? So 5x6. Let's see how we do on this. Now something kind of interesting happens. This actually potentially is actually a better design. I was thinking, because if you look at this, you're basically going to get this cool diagonal pattern. It goes even through the floor, right? So especially with glass, for example, you'll actually be able to see through the floor. And actually, I'm just curious about this shape, right? Because diagonals are pretty cool, and they're also incredibly difficult to actually build normally. But remember, if we wanted to build off from here, right? If we wanted to build off from here, so we wanted to somehow make a hole in this tunnel, and we wanted to go in this direction, we then have to do a 6x5. But that's not the only thing that we have to think about. You also have to think about where you're actually going to start the thing from. So I think if we just go to the bottom block, we've got replace off, I believe. Yeah. So let's see if we can do a so we need to do it. Remember, we need to do the 6x5 here. Let's build that out. We'll just do a little line breaker, say a small section in here. Just see how that might look. Not bad, right? And what we could have done is we could have actually done a pallet swap. Now, I actually thought, again, I found out, I didn't find out, it's just like I didn't do this originally. Basically, it's better to, in the menus that you've just seen me go into, it's better to put it in here. The reason why you put it in there is because when you're actually changing your pattern, right? So we wanted to add a different one. When we go into to try and find it, this is normally what you get in the menu, but you'll notice here it is at the bottom. So basically, I can just switch to that pattern, right? So for instance, say I wanted to, so you know what, I'll probably just stick with this diagonal pattern. So it's going to be 4, 4, 4, 4. So all I'd have to do then, yeah, let's actually do a little bit more on this. So I basically got rid of the stairs because stairs can be a bit tricky to. It is possible to work it out, but I think the stairs are almost like a little addition you put with the line tool afterwards. That was something that I found quite useful. So I think we should be able to save it, right? So let's see if we can save it. So we'll delete the stairs, and we're basically going to do 4s on everything. Now, what was the other palette that I had here? Let's have a look. X2. So basalt, warped planks, cyan glass, and andesite. Basalt, warped planks. Yeah. Basalt, warped planks. I could actually just put some prismarine in there, slightly changing it to what it actually was. Because there are some decent prismarine blocks. Like that's not a bad run, right? But of course, if we were removing that one, that could go instead of there, right? So I could do something like this instead. Right, so that's what we want. Basalt, prismarine bricks, cyan glass, and andesite. So we look at how to get that, right? So we don't need a new preset, right? Sometimes this works, but I found it not really. I find it's easy just to add it all manually. And this is the, and I haven't shown this anyway, to be honest. So basalt, prismarine bricks. This one. And then we had cyan stained glass and andesite, right? I think andesite. Okay. And these are all going to be 4s again, right? Oh, did I not save that one? Oops. Delete. Is that everything? I think so, right? Save that one. So those been saved. Save. So what we could do is if we're just going to use these, I'm not sure where that thing came in. So this is going to be our second hotbar. So we'll do, I put it to X as well. So we'll save it with C2. And then we'll go to X1. And these are not going to be required, right? And of course, if you're playing this in a single player, right? I've noticed there are ways like it can pull stuff out of your backpacks and all this stuff, as long as you've got one in there. And sometimes the logic actually does work to pull stuff out of your backpacks, which is pretty cool. Obviously, only got 4 blocks now, right? So that's C1. So we've got X1, X2, X1, X2, right? And the reason you need to have it in the hotbar tool is because, yeah, because because I've played in survival so much, I'm actually playing in a way that even though I'm in creative, everything I'm doing is actually going to work in survival. Right, but that is a useful thing. We're going to get into some of the diagonal stuff as well in a minute, which is going to get even more interesting. So the next, so let's see if we can build like just again something similar to this, but we'll try and use both pallets this time, right? And see how easy it is to sort of switch between them, because I'm curious about that as well. Right, so let's start by switching to the other palette then. So you could just delete here, right? And then we add. We just go straight into randomizer. We add our palette. use the template. It's pretty easy, right? To be honest, this I can't believe I wasn't doing this before. But I would really suggest to you that you do just choose one. You choose the size of your tunnel and just keep it consistent, because otherwise it just becomes like a bit of a hassle. So I don't even know how this one even looks. It should be okay though, right? Yep, so this is 5x6. And then what if we just wanted to continue the tunnel with the other pallet? I mean, how easy would that be to do? And what if you edit? I wonder if there's a quicker way to do it. Not really. You have to just do delete, add 2 clicks, 3 clicks, 4 clicks, 5 clicks, 6, and then you press this. I mean, 6 clicks. It's not like incredibly fast. And the best way to do it is basically to look at the bottom pan. I think like to use one of these gaps here if you're going to get a clean cut or whatever, right? Make sure we've got X1 selected. So not bad, right? Not bad.